Hello and welcome to the Scottish Rugby Podcast. I am Cammy Black. You can find the podcast on the blog, scottishrugbyblog.co.uk, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Acast, Spotify, and most other podcast apps and sites. If you want to get in touch with us, you can leave a comment on the blog or find us on Twitter at Cammy Black or at Scott Rugby Blog. And you can also email us podcast at scottishrugbyblog.co.uk. The next episode of the podcast should be out later this month. We are not able to put out full episodes of the podcast on YouTube any longer. However, we will upload interviews and other snippets from time to time, usually about 7 days or so after the podcast goes out. In our last episode, we spoke to Glasgow Warriors' Callum Gibbons about his first season at the club.
Thanks, I'm good. I've got Cully here, so if you can keep it to 10 minutes, that'd be great, just because he's got training and stuff.
No worries, I'll keep it to time, don't worry.
Okay, thanks for that. Here you go. Cheers.
Yeah, I'll be right at Saturday.
Hi, Callum, are you there?
Hello, how are you?
I'm not bad, thank you. Thanks very much for joining us.
No worries, mate.
The first thing we always ask people when they come on the podcast is what club socks they'd wear if they were called up to play for the Barbarians.
I've got a few clubs. I suppose I'd have to wear the Warriors club socks at the moment. My club in Scotland's Stirling, and my club back home was Varsity, Massey University.
So quite it might be quite a hard choice for you then.
Yeah, I suppose I've played all my rugby. You know, Massey University was the team that sort of gave me the channel to play professional rugby, so I'd probably have to play them, wouldn't I?
Yeah, that's a good choice. Yeah. After that you went to Manawatu, where you last sort of played with Dave Rennie and Jason O'Halloran.
Yep. So that Massey University's in the Manawatu. So yeah, I played club rugby there, and then from there into the ITM Cup with Renz and Jace.
Yeah, and have you noticed sort of any? I mean, it's been a while since you've played with them in between. Have you noticed sort of any changes in the way that they approach the game since you've come to Glasgow?
Yeah, little differences. Different structures that we run. You know, we did run similar stuff back in, I think it was probably 2009 or 2010. So my memory's not. It doesn't go back that far, but. Yeah, it's a pretty expensive style of rugby, which from memory, I remember what we used to try and play in Manawatu. So, yeah, pretty similar. Of course, they would have, picked things up along the way with Jace coaching at national level with Scotland, and Ren's been at the Chiefs. So, yeah, different variations there, here and there.
And how have you found the first season playing with Glasgow?
Yeah, it's been great. I've loved every moment of it. Got a bit of an injury there for a while, which was quite frustrating because it was the last thing I wanted to happen when I come to a new country, into a new club. But yeah, it's worked out great, and we're in a good position. So it's been, we've been going really well.
Yeah, and is there anything that's sort of surprised you about playing in the Pro 14 since you've come over?
Not really, to be honest. It's a bit longer. Like the season we played with the European Cup, it's a bit longer than I'm used to, I suppose. But the weather sort of is a lot different to home. It's a lot colder, so that sort of makes trainings that little bit harder, I suppose. But other than that, it's all pretty similar rugby, and yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of chat during the Six Nations. You might have picked up on it about different interpretations of referees and different unions. Is that something you had to adapt to, or did you find it pretty easy, or in terms of the interpretation, especially at breakdown, where sort of you're playing a lot of your rugby?
Yeah, I suppose every ref has a different interpretation, so you're kind of encountering that every week. No, to be honest, it hasn't been huge in my my thinking, but you just have to adapt to every week the ref is going to rule things slightly different. So no, it hasn't really been a problem for me.
Yeah, and you talked earlier. You've been unlucky with injuries, and I think you said when you came over, Dave Rennie was sort of asking you to mentor some of the younger lads. How has that gone for you? Is that something you've enjoyed?
Yeah, it is. We've got some great young players here, especially in the loose forwards with Matt Smith, Matt Ferguson, Lewis Wynn. Those guys are they're great players, and they're so young. So it's hopefully from working with them and playing with them that they can sort of pull bits and pieces out of what I do, and likewise I can sort of pull stuff out of what they do. So. Yeah, it's been cool. It's been a sort of a new role for me doing that, I suppose. And like I said, yeah, hopefully they can become better players from it, and push for spots and hopefully push for national spots in the future.
Yeah, and what sort of changes have you seen in the way they play? Is it just little things?
I think, at that age you can, well, certainly from my experience, I was probably lacking a little bit of physicality and maybe a little belief in myself. And, if Matty Smith and Matt Fagerson, they've had quite a lot of game time this year, and throughout the season I've been watching their stuff, and they've come along leaps and bounds in that physical area at the breakdown and their tackles. So, they're big boys and they're talented players. So when they believe that and realise that, then what do they say? The sky's the limit. So I've noticed that in their game, and hopefully they can continue to do that over the next few years.
And what about yourself? I mean, is there anything sort of you've picked up on sort of since you've come over?
I'm getting a lot more game time here. So, there has been little changes in the way we play to the way I played at home. So I'm running different sort of roles within that structure, which is cool. I'm getting a few more ball carries, and I'm working a bit closer. So it's been good. I think the rugby over here is slightly more direct with a couple of those bigger teams with bigger forward packs. They tend to carry ball a bit more than teams that maybe in the Southern Hemisphere. So that work around the breakdown and in that sort of short area where you need to be really physical is kind of areas that I've been targeting at training and trying to work on.
Yeah, and then so outside of rugby, when I asked the guys that write for the blog sort of for questions to ask you, and one of the lads had sort of uncovered Finn Razell, your band from back in New Zealand. Is that something you've had much of an opportunity to work on since you've been over here?
No, well, I haven't played in that band for a couple of years now, to be honest. It was when I was sort of full time with the Hurricanes, but I wasn't playing, so I had my weekends off where I'd go back and play club rugby, and I could tee up with the band if we had a gig or something. And one of my best mates, Brian Norton, he was the lead singer, so he would always tee up little gigs that would catch up with, and I could, if I had a day off, I could go learn the songs and then play. So it's something I really miss, actually. It's good to be able to get that sort of creative side, and in contrast with rugby, it's completely different. So it was something I love doing, and it's a shame that I can't do both. But no, I haven't played in a band for a while.
You directed one of their music videos. Is that something you'd like to go and do again?
No, that was just a budget video. So me and Brian just thought we'd try it out one day, and he was keen on it. And I didn't really have a clue what I was doing. We just got down the beach and went for a stroll and saw how it went.
It was a pretty good music video for someone that didn't know what they were doing, I have to say. Have you had much of an opportunity to check out the music scene in Glasgow and Scotland?
Not really. I'd love to do more. It's just sort of you get home from training, and it's been a long day, so I don't tend to venture out too much. But I've been to a couple live bands around the place, and the Celtic Connections a few months ago, when saw one of my old physios was playing playing the banjo, in an Irish sort of setup. So that was cool to see a bit of music there. And I went to Kendrick Lamar was playing in the Hydro, so I went along to that, which was quite nice. And I'm hoping over the summer break you get to see a bit more. So I think there's a Transmit Festival.
Yep.
I think it's been played in Glasgow. It'd be good to get a weekend ticket for that and go see what's happening down there.
And have you got a favourite Scottish musician or band?
The Wandering Sons. They're my favourite band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were they? Where are they hail from?
That's sort of just a mate that I've met. He plays in them, and they're like a folk band. They're pretty good. I think they're getting some new music out soon, and I just checked them out the other week, and it's really, really nice music. So
excellent.
It's my favourite. That's my favourite Scottish band.
Good choice. Well, that's been really great, Callum. Thanks very much for speaking to us.
No worries, man. No worries.
All right. Thanks so much.